Hello, dear viewers. Today, are you ready to dive into the secret world of introverts and discover their 9 favorite things? If you are someone who likes to stay away from crowds and savor solitary moments, this video is for you. We will delve deep into Stoic philosophy and show that introversion is not a weakness, but a powerful way of life. Perhaps we have more in common than you think. As we search for ways to find our inner peace, we will be introduced to these 9 things that help us keep our minds calm. Get ready, because not only will you have fun on this journey, but you will also gain new perspectives on your life. So what comes first? Let's discover it together. Introverts are known for their silence, serenity, and deep thoughts. They seek peace in their inner world instead of getting involved in the chaotic noise of the outside world. They are often misunderstood, as if they are inadequate in social situations. But this is only what we see on the surface. Introverts live life quietly but deeply. For them, life is nourished more by meaningful connections and inner richness than by vanity and external noise. While society constantly pressures us to be extroverted, to talk more, to do more, introverts chart a path of their own. They prefer less is more and go after the deep and meaningful. In this video, we will explore the unique peace that introverts find in silence. Standing in the midst of the chaos of life, we will witness how they access their own inner wisdom. If you are an introvert, what is described here will be familiar to you. If you are not, perhaps for the first time you will step into the depths of this silent world. Be ready, because this journey may open new doors to your own inner world. Now is the time to discover the power behind the silence. A solitude and a home of one's own. In today's world, individuals are constantly imposed the need to socialize. Social norms whisper that we live incompletely if we are not with someone all the time. Yet the virtue of being alone is ignored. Is getting lost in the crowd more valuable than finding ourselves? In fact, people ignore the emptiness inside themselves, as if spending time with others is an achievement. Seneca said that one should beware most of all of the rude crowd. He said that once I am in a rough crowd, I cannot return with the good qualities I took with me. In his explanation, he argues that when we are in a crowd, we easily become attracted to imperfections and they are introduced into our souls. When we mix with people, we become more greedy, more debauched. We may even become more cruel, more hard-hearted. So we should retreat into our own shells as much as we can. We need to associate with people who can make us better, and we need to let people into our homes who can make us better. As the stockbrokers remind us, our own mind is our kingdom. When introverts have the house to themselves, they have the opportunity to retreat into this inner world. This space allows for reflection, self-examination, and the search for calm. This does not mean that they do not appreciate the presence of their loved ones. But they recognize that solitude is a necessary part of maintaining inner peace. In the absence of the expectations of others, introverts can fully practice ataraxia, that is, mental stillness or peace of mind, and allow their minds to live in harmony. 2. Going for long walks alone. Modern life is constantly speeding us up. Run, don't stop, you must achieve more, the world screams. But this speed prevents us from realizing what we are missing. We try to be everywhere and end up nowhere. So how much time do we spend on our own thoughts in this hustle and bustle? Do we not have the opportunity to face our inner selves while constantly running towards a goal? Walking for inner peace is a journey to life itself for the Stoicists. Rather than a body walking outside, we are a traveler deepening in our inner world. Thoughts are a river. When we walk alone, we follow the flow of that river. The stones of the river shape our thoughts. The calmness of the water cleanses our soul. Walking is an inner meditation, a journey. Marcus Aurelius often walked the streets of Rome, reflecting on life and the universe. Similarly, introverts value long, solitary walks. In this practice, they are free to contemplate, allowing their thoughts to flow naturally, without the noise of external influences. Walking in silence allows them to harmonize their inner dialogue with the rhythm of nature, finding peace and clarity in the simple act of movement. Just as a stoker seeks the wisdom of the logos, the rational principle that governs the cosmos. 3. The simplicity of online shopping. Consumer culture conditions us to constantly need things. Advertisements whisper, you need more, happiness is in new purchases. But do we really live for these material things? Are we defined by what we have or what we don't have? Are our needs growing or are our ambitions growing? Seneca summarized this situation very well. If you make the person who does not consider what he has sufficient for himself the master of the whole world, he will still be unhappy. Shopping that is not motivated by a real need can often become an exercise in vanity or an opportunity for distraction. For the Stoics, life is best lived simply and with discernment. With its quiet, undisturbed atmosphere, online shopping allows introverts to make informed choices. It gives them time to think before they act, to consider their needs versus their wants. This reflects the Stoic principle of evaluating what truly serves our virtue and rejecting what is superfluous. 4. When plans are cancelled, society constantly encourages us to be busy and out doing things. Spending leisure time with yourself, having no plans, is seen as a deficiency. Canceling plans is perceived as a failure or a loss. But this is a misconception that the modern world manipulates us with. Do we really need to be out all the time? Why is time for ourselves underestimated? It is not external events that disturb us, says Epictetus, but the judgments we make about them. When plans are cancelled, introverts feel relieved, not because they dislike people, but because they are freed from the expectations and obligations imposed by others. In this moment, they take time for themselves, choosing to focus on what they deem necessary for themselves. The cancellation of plans offers a Stoic opportunity to practice self-determination and voluntary bliss. 5. Prefer texting over phone calls. People, even those close to us who know us best, demand that we respond quickly when they call, that we produce immediate responses. The phones are ringing, the messages are pouring in. We are expected to communicate without a moment's pause. But constantly reacting weakens our ability to think deeply. So how much do we really think in this age of rapid communication? How much meaning do we produce when we speak quickly? Stoic wisdom praises thoughtful communication. Words are like seeds. If planted deeply, they grow strong roots. Communication through texts gives us time to think. Like an artist, we choose our words carefully and craft our sentences delicately. Slow and meaningful communication always surpasses fast and meaningless. Stoicism teaches us the importance of choosing our words carefully and understands that speech can make or break relationships. For introverts, texting offers a way to communicate thoughtfully, preparing their responses with intention, rather than reacting without thinking, as is often the case with phone calls. This practice is in line with the Stoic virtue of wisdom, and emphasizes deliberate, meaningful interaction over rushed communication. 6. Being alone in public places. Being alone in crowds is not a way of escaping from the outside world, but a way of making peace with the inner world. In today's society, we are constantly made to feel that we need to be in the public eye. Everyone wants to attract attention, to be noticed. But isn't this desire to be visible an escape from our own inner world? The Stoics believed that peace could be found even in the most crowded cities. Because true peace comes from within, not from the absence of noise. Introverts appreciate the ability to be alone in public spaces, not because they escape from the world, but because they understand that their inner peace is independent of external circumstances. Just as a Stoic can observe life without being drawn into chaos, introverts enjoy watching life unfold around them. Because they are masters of observation. 7. When it rains, most people run away, afraid of getting wet. But rain is a gift of nature. There are storms and rains in our lives too. But these moments purify our souls. Whereas the modern world always advises us to run after sunny days, it makes the rains look like a disaster. There is no need to give examples from the Stoics. Think about your childhood. When it rained, we would run out into the streets, dance, turn our faces to the sky and try to watch the drops. As if that wasn't enough, we would wet our friends by hitting the puddles on the ground. We would make paper boats and drop them on the rainwater flowing down the side of the road. Now we have grown up and we are scared of even the thought of rain. But introverts, like a stockman, never lose this feeling. There is beauty in the natural order, and rain, with its rhythmic drops and calming presence, reminds introverts of the balance in nature. For Stoics, the cycles of nature are a reflection of the rational order of the universe. Rain provides a natural setting for reflection, inviting introverts to pause and embrace the peace of the moment. Like a passing storm, it reminds us that life's disturbances are temporary. 8. Meaningful conversations. There is a truth we have to accept. Even conversations are often superficial, meaningless, and full of empty chatter. Even when we ask "How are you?" do we really care about the answer? Are we really looking for a deep conversation, or are we just talking to fill the silence? Meaningless conversations make our soul feel like an empty vessel. For the Stoics, a real conversation nourishes the soul. Just as the roots of a tree deepen as they reach for water, so meaningful conversations deepen our souls. Every word is like a root. Not the superficial, but the deeper roots make us strong. Shallow conversations blow in the wind, but meaningful conversations are the ties that bind our souls together. The Stoics valued meaningful conversations and emphasized the importance of depth over triviality. Introverts also seek conversations that go beyond the superficial. They value sharing where they can learn, grow, and connect in a real way. These conversations allow them to practice empathy, wisdom, and humility. They are also in line with the Stoic virtues that strengthen relationships and encourage personal growth. 9. Having a quiet space where they can retreat. The Stoics understood the sanctity of silence. Like a calm cove in the middle of a stormy sea, silence protects us from the turmoil of life. Those quiet corners allow our thoughts to clear and our emotions to settle. When we take refuge in silence, we actually find a balance in our own inner world. It does not matter how turbulent the outside world is. Quiet corners are harbors on the Stoic journey of wisdom. For introverts, quiet spaces provide a refuge from the outside world, just as Stoic philosophers take refuge in their own minds amidst the chaos of life. In these spaces, introverts can reflect, meditate, and recharge. A quiet room becomes more than just a physical retreat. It is a place where they can reconnect with their inner self and ground themselves in peace and tranquility. It is in these moments of solitude that the Stoics' ideal of maintaining tranquility in the face of the noise of life is realized. As a result, introverts naturally adopt many of the principles of Stoicism. By seeking solitude, living a conscious life, and focusing on what really matters, they develop an inner peace that is consistent with the Stoic pursuit of virtue. Like the ancient Stoic philosophers, introverts remind us that true contentment is found not in external distractions, but in the quiet power of our own minds. What do you think? Which of these traits are most compatible with you? Do you agree with these thoughts? Feel free to share your thoughts below. Until we see you in the next videos, be stockpiling and stay strong.